All right, guys, welcome back. We are watching my teen romantic comedy SNAFU, season 2 OVA. Not really an episode, huh? Watching the OVA, which I did not know existed until people told me it existed on the Discord. So cool, cool. Apparently there could have been like an earlier spot that I had watched it or something. It's kind of like going back in time a little bit, to my understanding. It's not like following the events of the previous episode, which makes sense considering the previous episode was crazy and we left off on a very yeah, I don't think we're gonna be following that up in an OVA, so not surprising. I am on a bit of a schedule right now. I have about an hour in total to record this and the discussion and everything, so I'm gonna try and not like I'm not gonna try and let that affect the discussion or anything like that. But maybe I won't have as much time to like ramble and all of that. So we'll see. We'll see. I don't know what's gonna be in this episode anyway. So I don't know. We'll see how that goes. And as I'm talking, I'm dwindling down that timer. But I didn't want to miss the upload today. So you know. Okay, let's just get started. So we're watching the OVA for season 2. You can line your own copy up with this if you want to. We are starting in 3, 2, 1. Right, Chiba Station. They talk about that. Okay. Oh, I get it. I get what he's getting at. Iroha, what's up? I love Iroha. She's great. And no, he would never say that. Come on. Is this really a date? God, that was such an awkward pause. Oh, I do get to see the opening and the ending again, don't I? The last time I actually get to see it, huh? Hmm. Uh God, this was such a good season just of anime. I don't know. It's just so good. Hmm. Just thinking back on everything. Ah, man. If I could have one thing, I would have wanted more Komachi, but it's okay. Oh, no, it's so good. The opening just feels like it has so much to it as well, man. Oh, man, this last part of the opening feels like it really has more meaning to it after the end of the previous episode, doesn't it? Or the end of season 2, I guess. Ah, we're seeing how this came to be. I see. Right. Always wants to get him alone, of course. Hmm. So is this during God, what was that noise? Yeah, you don't do anything. That's exactly. I love how this is just a running joke that everyone knows he never has anything going on. Hmm. So is this like during the stuff when they were helping her with the Christmas festival? Ah, it's a practice date. I see. I see. Ah, right, right. Or is that what we're supposed to help with? I got it. I got it. Of course. But it's your plan, right? Well, no, it's his plan, but he doesn't have one. And right, God, being so negative. What a surprise, right? My God, I love him so much. That's a really that's a really good way to think of it. Yeah. Hmm. What movies we got, huh? We'll go to different ones. Shut up. What like uh-huh, uh-huh. Oh my God. I don't know. Come on. I can imagine him playing some ping pong. Maybe. That's very considerate, frankly. Yeah, right? I would not have thought of that. Ah. So what's whoa. Mm-hmm. God. Yeah, I kind of hope they have something like that. God. I don't think I've ever played ping pong in my life, honestly. God, his voice there. He's gonna get owned, isn't he? It's, wow. Are the noises necessary? It does not seem like he's putting in that much effort, but maybe that's just me. We'll see. Maybe he'll have an awesome deflection here. Right. No, that was perfect. Come on. Oh, this is actually so good. They got like the hands guy on this, who did the hands for whatever his name was. I swear. Like, shut up. God. He's serious now. God, it's actually so impressive, like the animation here. God, Hachiman, you gotta calm down. It's yeah, please tell me. Right, right, uh-huh. We aren't keeping track properly. Right. It's where did right. That was just like who would that possibly work on? Oh. Well, that's kind of like a I don't know about that. Yeah. God. That was actually such a cool sequence. No, you didn't. And what's with the S? She's planning something horrible. I don't know. True. True. There was nothing in it for you in the first place. Mm-hmm. I guess, maybe. It's yeah, like, I don't know. That's not like a connection in my mind, personally. Right, right. Ooh. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, it's yeah, it's not like from a source. Ah, it's just the way she thinks about it is it's like sad, you know? Hmm. Oh no. God. Iroha, what is up with you? I just can't decide what I think she actually feels about Hachiman. It'd kick it up a notch, huh? What's wrong with that? Come on. That's not really like a date kind of romantic spot. Yeah. Yeah, you sound so thrilled. Uh-huh. Just come on. Not really the kind of not the kind of thing you expected, huh? It's like it can't be that bad. Come on. I would love to have a ramen place like this. There's no way it's actually bad, right? Right? Okay. Thank you. There we go. Hmm. Hmm. I see. Lix's Cafe. What's special about it? Oh god, what's happening? Someone's here. The way she's hiding behind him. Who is that? Ah. Okay. Huh. She has such a way of viewing it. It's, what? Uh-huh. This is like the furthest one. How could that possibly? I think he just ignores her completely. Like, what could he have? He didn't do or say anything. Like, because we've seen two people. And true, right? Like, what does that mean? God, she's got to take pictures, of course. It's really you want a picture together. Hachiman will not do that. Yeah, God, please, what are we doing? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. God. Oh, yeah, she did it, huh? Surprising. Why did she want a picture if she was so embarrassed about like being even potentially seen with him at all? Ice cream melts, buddy. Come on. Kind of something to that though. 100 probably. It's yeah, right, right. It's better than zero. Oh, right, right. It's what? What did he do? I guess it's. Aren't we at 100 now? Isn't that minus 100? Yeah. It's, isn't that what really matters? Come on. Hmm. Always so negative. Mm-hmm. That's his normal face. Huh. Like those generalizing statements she makes like that about what girls are. I think it says something about her and the way she thinks of herself. True. Ah, this track. This is right. You're gonna need a lot of practice, buddy. Hmm. I don't know if that's accurate. Yeah. Maybe. Maybe. Hmm. I don't know. That's an interesting way to view it. Oh God. Just blowing his cover. That look from Yukino. Don't make it even more awkward. Like, come on. A brochure, huh? That's, yeah, what does that mean? Yeah. Okay, okay. That kind of makes sense, yeah. Switch to cats, instantly gets Yukino. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. This makes it required, obviously. So, uh-oh. Did she switch to the picture of them? Oh no. Oh god. Please don't tell me that's what happened. Oh god. Why? Iraha, we gotta. You should have deleted that. Mm-hmm. God. And she's gotta escape quickly. Hmm. It's a good picture. I'm surprised he did the peace sign. I really am. It's company slave, right. You have infinite days of leisure. Hmm. True. I always show up early to things, but that's because I have ADHD. It's God. It's Hachiman, calm down. So please. It's- I know. Just chill out, please. Right. Exactly. That would be even worse, honestly. Like, yeah. Hmm. An interesting like parallel to like earlier with Iruha. instead of him walking away. Well, he is kind of walking away, but she's walking next to him. Oh god, right. Remember how Yukino has like insecurity about that from back like season 1? Oh no. I forgot all about that joke. Like right, right. Mhm. The poor girl. God. I guess. God, look at that thing. Aw. There we go. She's doing it in front of him now. That's progress, isn't it? Come on. A cat is more important than anything. I see. I definitely like cats more than dogs. Oh, really? Here's a dog. It is very cute. I agree. Hmm. I don't know what she's referring to exactly. Yukino, God. So we gotta see the movie. Right, right. The date plan is really working out. Is right. She's so good. Remember back in season 1? Yeah. Ah, it makes me worry though. After the events of the last episode, that are we gonna lose this? Right? This time there, no way. There's any embarrassing pictures in there, right? Aw. Hmm. Please, I would love that. Hachiman, get over here, please. Stop sitting way over there. Perfect. Hmm. Why is he sitting? Yeah. Right. Ah. It's very like melancholy in a way, because it just makes me worry about the future for all of them. Huh. I'm just so unsure about Iroha's feelings. Oh, that's a nice face to see. Right. I mean, it's hard. Hard to define any relationship. Hachiman, I wish you had a better look on your face, but it's okay. Ah, that was a nice episode. I liked that. I liked that a lot. And I get to see the ending one last time. Lucky me. There's a lot to the ending too that it just feels like symbolically meaningful. Like even just the way that it's all like this scrolling, um, it's this scrolling thing that keeps going with like characters like running to the right. It's kind of just like the passage of time almost. There's like a shot of I don't know. There's just a lot to it. It feels it's like really every character's in it. Like them chasing after Hachiman, that feels meaningful. Yui even holding Yukino's hands, like dragging her forwards. Yeah, yeah. Ah, continue to hurt us forever. And there's so much in that line, isn't there? That the end? That is the end. Damn. Okay, okay. We'll talk about the episode in the discussion. Okay, let's talk about the episode. Man, that was just the Iroha special, huh? I love Iroha. I think she's very cool. I've always been like so unsure of like a lot of parts of her, and I guess I still am. I feel like this episode didn't even help me illuminate that much on mainly just her feelings towards Hachiman, I guess, right? Like the whole thing that's the whole thing about her feelings not really being meant for Hayama, like is that a reference towards feelings she may have towards Hachiman or what? Like the other thing about her that's always been like something that stood out and it's like obvious in this episode and some of the like after they play ping pong and they're sitting talking about and they talk about Hayama a little bit. um there's it just feels like there's this connection between her and Hayama, right? Like her saying stuff like this, right? Not being able to act in a certain way, feeling like she needs to change her behavior to like be a different person almost, right? Maybe that's like a bad way to look at it, but kinda, right? To like do that like for Hayama's sake, kinda. It just feels like that's in is kind of applies in an interesting way to Hayama, who like kind of has his own like whole thing about that. The way he views himself, and not really the persona he puts on exactly. Which it's something we've talked about. It's something we've talked about so many times, but the idea of like how do you separate a person and their actions in terms of like saying that something is a persona, right? If Iroha or like a mask is maybe the better word to use. If Iroha acts like this all the time, right? She if she changes her behavior meaningfully all the time to like act in a specific way, why is that why do we view that as like her being fake, right? Or her having a mask on, right? What is the distinction between her real self and the way that she acts, in this way that we say is her having like a mask on? What's like the difference there, right? Because your behavior, you always have to like change your behavior and act in a certain way in different social settings. Like just later in the episode, like I don't know, like a simple one is like it's Yukino telling Hachiman to not embarrass them. It's like that's just tiny things like that. You always change your behavior to some extent, no matter what the situation is. Does that mean you always have a mask on? I don't really want to say that that's true. So why is it so tempting to say that about Iroha? Iroha's like portrayed like that to us, the audience, right? She's shown to us as this character that always has this mask on and doesn't show whatever her real self is. But like, what does that even mean? Right? What does that even mean? Like, I don't know. I don't know. Because I'm thinking about it. Like for me personally, like what would you say the real me is? I guess that's hard to say because none of you know me. None of you know who I am outside of these videos, right? I think it's probably obvious that I act differently when I'm recording a YouTube video than I do when I'm at work or when I'm talking to my family or when I'm talking to my friends or anything like that. Does that mean that I'm betraying my true self in some sense and always putting on a mask? Like, no, that that can't be right. That can't be the right way to look at it. So I don't know. I don't know. It's just it's and I feel like you're supposed to think of it that deeply, right? I feel like it is, at least to me, it's a meaningful question, right? It's something to think about with Iroha, especially because Iroha just feels like she is kind of this enigmatic character in a way. Maybe she's also not. Maybe you just are meant to take her actions and her feelings, or what seem to be her feelings that kind of underlie her actions, kind of just at face value. And that really is just like who she is. And maybe it just is that simple. Uh because the other question is like how good is anyone at even putting on a mask, right? Like Hachiman's had a mask on for a long time, but or at least he did, like back in season one, right? But pretty much immediately from like the first episodes of the show, it was pretty obvious that like what Hachiman was doing, and kind of in a sense where his true feelings must lie, and all of that. So man, I don't know. I don't know. It's just there's a lot to think about with her. I love her though. Iroha's awesome. She's one of the most entertaining characters in the show, isn't she? Like just whatever she's on screen, whenever she's in a scene at all, she's great. I love her so much. She's so funny, and she's so like, oh god, she just has I love her dynamic with Hachiman, right? Which is kind of like the main thing. It feels like her whole character is just her dynamic with Hachiman in a sense, like to us, right? Like we barely see her interact with other people for the most part. Maybe that's mean to say, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. She's awesome. I love her. I love her. I'm really glad that like I had that worry that after she like we dealt with the Christmas festival stuff, she's gonna kind of take like a back seat. But she's continued to show up, so thank God. I hope that continues on into season 3. Kind of makes me wonder. It's like thinking about what we dealt with at the end of season 2, like the new issue we're having. You know, the if you want to call it an issue, but what we've been set up to have to tackle as a group with our emotions and everything. Could Iroha have any part in that? Could Iroha as a character, have some kind of unique perspective on this that could be meaningful to Hachiman? Probably, right? But I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see where the story goes in that sense. We start off with Hachiman going on this long ramble about when a Chiba resident says they're going to Chiba Station, you would unmistakably assume they were going to the station's east entrance. I don't know what all this is about. Exactly, right? I understand what he's saying, right? Like the Tokyo example is really clear, right? When it's sort of like when someone not from Tokyo says, "I'm going to Tokyo," it feels like, yeah, it feels like there's this underlying like meaning to it that's like deeper than that. But if you live in Tokyo or you have family in Tokyo or something, it kind of means something completely different. If you do have like a connection to that place, right? What does all of this mean? It's kind of like relating to the idea of familiarity and how that changes your dynamic with something. I guess in this sense, it's kind of like how he's going on a date with Iroha, but yet it's not really a date with Iroha, right? Like not at all. But it kind of also is. So I don't know. Maybe you could say that's what it's about. I guess. I guess. Man, Hachiman. I feel like Hachiman is in a bad mood in this episode a lot of the time, but maybe that's kind of just how he always is, in a sense, right? But God, he's not happy he's been dragged out here, right? But, Hachiman never really shows, like, actual discomfort, it feels, in 90% of situations, so, I don't know. It's just Hachiman. It's just Hachiman. Come on. I love the like long awkward pause in between we're headed out on a date and yeah, right. I'm gonna miss this opening so much. I'm gonna be so sad that this is like it, right? We aren't getting this opening anymore. Like, oh god, that's like such a sad thing to think about that it's done. I really love this opening. This opening is so good. There's just so much to it. It's just, especially like having watched the whole season now, it feels like such a nostalgic, like, it just really makes you think back on like everything that happened in the season and all of these characters and just everything, you know. It's just so good. It's so good. And the lyrics of the opening are, of course, like really, really good. Really good. There's a lot of like symbolic stuff, it feels, that's like very, yeah, yeah. Man, that's another thing in this season. It feels like we really got any Tatsuka, but that's okay. I guess we did in some of the earlier episodes, right? No, such a good opening. I love it. I'm gonna be really sad that I never see it again. Maybe the season 3 opening will be even better. I don't know. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? So, you know, what's up with the stickers anyway? We've talked about the stickers. Like they've used them symbolically for clear meanings, right? Like some of the times when the club was going through turmoil, we would see the other side of the sign, the side without the stickers. Did Yui put them all up here? I kind of assume, right? Is there any kind of deeper meaning, like, behind the individual stickers? I kind of don't think so. I don't know what the meaning behind them would be. We got the panda here, right? I mean, I'm sure Yukino loves that. Otherwise, I don't know. And it feels like, have the stickers changed? Have we gotten more stickers with time? I feel like we have, right? But I don't know. Couldn't tell you. So we see what has led us to this situation. Of course, Iroha devilishly snatched poor Hachiman away, as always. I'm sure Yui and Yukino are, they know what that means, right? Tomorrow in front of Chiba Station. So, like, she said that, and obviously they're both Chiba residents, so they knew where to meet at Chiba Station, but I don't know. I'm just trying to think what the deeper meaning behind that little monologue at the start about all that was from Hachiman. I don't know. Also, I love the running joke about Hachiman never having anything going on. So this is all kind of like a practice date for her and Hayama, right? Of course, in a sense, it's like kind of, you could imagine, again, like I I don't know what to think about Iroha and what her feelings towards Hachiman are exactly. I phrased it before as if it feels like Hachiman could almost be viewed as like the easy option in a sense, right? Compared to who it is that she really wants to pursue, which is Hayama. But I don't know. I don't know if that like makes sense. Maybe that's right. I don't know. I don't know. I guess just her relationship with Hachiman, it feels so hmm. It is like intimate in a sense. Maybe that's too strong of a word to use. Just because again, like he's one of the only people that she like lets this like mask down around. But what is the difference between, letting that mask down and just Hachiman is a different person, so she, of course, she acts in a different way around him than she does around other people, right? Like, that's just how it works. I act differently around a lot of people than I do other people. Like, is that weird? I don't think so. I think that's just how it works, right? Obviously, I guess, like, something that could be said about it is it's how you yourself view it, right? Like, it's kind of this self-evaluation you have to make about whether or not you are being, like, genuine to yourself, whether or not you're being, like, authentic, I guess, to whatever you think, like, you is in a way. But that just brings us back to this topic that we've talked about 500 times about who makes the evaluation of who you really are, right? Like no one can say that the way that they view themselves is somehow objectively correct versus the way anyone else views them. I feel like I've said that exact sentence 5,000 times on the channel. So we all know what I mean, right? I don't know. I don't know. It's just something to think about, you know? Because there's a lot of like sad moments about it. Like later when they're talking, after playing ping pong, it just feels like a lot of the way Iroha feels about herself. It feels like this is like a very constraining way to view her behavior, right? And the things she says about like what girls are, right? Like how girls are supposed to be annoying and all of this stuff. Like I don't know. It just feels like she has this way of viewing her behavior where I guess just in a sense, that's kind of like the whole thing. She puts on this act, if that's how you want to view it, of acting in this very like the way she acts a lot of the time when she's like teasing Hachiman and stuff, and it kind of all fits into that, and all of that is in the purpose of what? Why does she do this exactly? Well, as why would anyone do something like this? I think it's there's a lot of stuff behind it, right? Obviously, on the surface level, there's the whole thing about Hayama and like trying to act in a way that she thinks will like appeal to him, right? And that sounds like kind of a sad way to put it, or like kind of a bad thing almost, right? You know what I mean? But I think that's kind of how a lot of people act a lot of the time. I don't think there something fundamentally wrong, like definitionally, with changing your behavior in some way because you think it like someone else will like it more, right? I don't think so because I think everyone does that all the time, right? Like that's what like manners are and like just generally like being a nice person is about, right? So it's man, there's got to be like a spectrum, right? That's got to be like the way to think about it. There's got to be a spectrum of being whatever the nebulous idea of your real self is, right? That's on one end. Like if we think about Hachiman and the way he would talk about like change and all of that before, like early on in like season one, that's on like one end, right? On the other end is allowing your behavior and everything about the way you like act and the way you portray yourself and everything, be like changed by other people entirely. I guess you would say that's on the other end, right? I guess for Iroha, it's different because she's so self-aware about it, but I kind of wonder if that self-awareness of her, like, thinking she has this mask on and everything all the time, and her, like, her calculating attitude about it and stuff, it's like, what does that actually mean? Like, what does that actually mean in terms of what all of this means for her? I don't know. I don't know. Because if you think about, like, Yukino, right? Like, the stuff that Haruno said to Yukino in the last episode about her not having a self and stuff. What I want to know what Haruno would think about Iroha. I feel like that would like give me a new perspective, I guess. And I don't know. I don't know what I would want her to say about Iroha exactly. I just want her to psychoanalyze Iroha in some way, and I feel like that would help me understand in a way. I guess we're really rambling about nothing. We gotta get through this, huh? I love like Iruha's faces and some of the noises she makes in this episode when they're playing ping pong. It's great. It's great. What does Hachiman say here? When I act alone, I get excited when making intricate plans, but when there's other people, my style is to follow after them. Of course, right, right. That's kind of something that like applies in an interesting way to Iroha too. Like she's taking this very she's someone who's so assertive and so it feels like she takes such an active role in things, right? Just like generally in like social interactions. But at the same time, she is kind of following another person by carefully changing the way she acts and everything, the way she portrays herself to match like what she thinks other people might want from her, like Hayama specifically, right? Huh. What kind of places do you normally hang out? Home. Right. Like good. This is a good answer. So we're gonna kill time by watching a movie. This is like so funny to me. It's when he's like, "Yeah, let's watch separate movies so we could be apart from each other for 2 hours." God, like it's actually so funny. This is a very funny episode, isn't it? Hmm. There's an interesting moment here that I think it's like mirrored in an interesting way later with what happens with Yukino. Hachiman talks about her shoes, which like is like weirdly observant of him, isn't it? He says because he noticed that she's taller, which I guess makes sense. I guess. And there's this interesting moment where she keeps walking towards him and he like takes a step back every time, right? Because like of course. But that just feels interesting with what happens later, with him taking a step away from Yukino and her approaching him, like standing by his side, right? Rather than what's happening here with Iroha walking like directly towards him, you know? I'm not sure what to make of that, like exactly like what I want to say the distinction behind that is, or like the meaning behind that is, but it just feels like that's a clear like connection made by the show. Probably says something about the way Iroha feels. I mean, the way Hachiman feels differently about these different characters, right? But I'm not sure exactly. I'm not sure exactly. God, these two. And like this is an interesting moment because she really is flustered, right? So like she actually genuinely is, and then she just gives this stupid little smile, and Hachiman's like, "Oh, she's just so foxy, right?" Which like I like that's feels interesting, doesn't it? Because that was clearly like an actual moment there where Iroha was like kind of flustered, you know. Hmm. Shows how she like perhaps uses like the way she acts all the time like that to like shield herself from those kinds of like feelings or make other people like perceive them in a different way, you know? Yeah, yeah. So we start playing ping pong. It's animated like so well, especially the hands. They must have gotten the hands guy back. The guy who animated the hands of what was his name? I always forget his name. I don't know why. I literally can't keep his name in my head. But the hands guy, right? Who was talking with his hands so much and being weird. It's that guy. It's like the same guy. It has to be, right? So we play some ping pong. Hachiman seems very like not in it. I love the trick she tries to play. It's so like man. Why are you acting so triumphant with such a satisfied smile? Right. Is she really is a really good move she tries here. Oh gosh, oh gosh. Yeah, uh-huh. Like who would that work on? Literally who would that work on? Like what is she doing? Like that is just like oh, look over there. Like what a good trick. Huh? Like man. This is right. Right. This is very unfair, of course. Oh, and then I mean this one's even worse when she's trying to tally up their points. And she asks him what time it is, and then she continues counting from that time. Like, literally, who would that work on? Like, would anyone ever fall for that? Would it even be possible to, like, not notice what she just did? Uh-huh. Incredibly bold. Like, man. So Hachiman wins. Of course, of course. I think this little moment where like she like says, "Oh, I fooled you, right? I don't have to buy you lunch because it wasn't like the deal wasn't set up like that." It feels interesting because in a way it makes me think about Hachiman's like the way he views like social interactions and stuff from in like season 1. You know, he would have so much to say about this. It feels, you know, the unfair way this was set up and blah 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 blah. But No, he wasn't expecting that in the first place, right? Is that better? Like probably, right? Just I don't know. It feels interesting. Also, it kind of like not being like a two-way street between them, right? Like Iroha wanting him to buy her lunch and Hachiman like not expecting that in return. That feels like it could say something deeper about their relationship, right? What's with the S in her? Like, why is he calling that? I don't know. I don't know. What an impressive trick. Is so good at it. Isn't it like a girl to be a little underhanded? Like, yeah, this is like what she says later at the annoying thing too. It's interesting because it's kind of it shows like what her attitude about herself and like the reason why she acts like this and all of that, I guess, right? It's like the fact that she feels the need to justify her behavior in, a sentence like this, right? And she says she does it later too. I don't know. It just feels, there is something sad about the way she views herself and stuff. It's like in the episode where she confessed to Hayama, I think that was clear as well, right? There's no way I'd do that around Hayama. Right, right. What would I do if he started to hate me? Well, I think Hayama would be happier to see that side of you. And this is what I mean in terms of the way that both of them, both her and Hayama, have like this way of engaging with, like these masks that they kind of put on. But for Hayama, it just feels like it's different because it feels like he embodies it so much. It feels like he embraces the way that other people see him so much, and he truly is Hayama, right? Like that is him. If you want to call it a mask, if you want to say that him trying to live up to those expectations is a mask in some way, I mean that's just him, right? Like what it feels more true for him than anyone else. So what makes that not true for Iroha? Right? Like is it just the way that she herself engages with it? Like maybe, right? I don't know. Is that for real? Where's this information come from? No particular source. She has like such a way of viewing it, like because that feels like such an obvious thing, right? Like, oh, surely the person you're interested in would, want to see the real side of you or whatever. But Iroha just brushes that aside like instantly. She like she doesn't think there's like any merit to that. Which maybe it makes sense. Maybe that does make sense in a way. Like again, if we're talking about this whole idea of what a mask even is and everything, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think I can act that way yet. But that is also very telling, saying like yet, right? That she can let it slip and like act in a different way if she got closer with Hayama, right? Because I guess again, it's like that certainly says something about the way she feels about it and herself and this whole mask thing and everything, right? Like she has this desire to eventually act that way, right? Because that, I guess, is the way that she would view her like real self, maybe. Hmm. For the time being, he's what, huh? That's why for now I'll act this way only to you. God, like she is so man. It's interesting how after that, like just to really analyze like the facial expressions and stuff, I guess. It's interesting after that, after she does this, she's not like blushing at all, really, right? Like it's just her normal, like neutral face, essentially, compared to that moment earlier when she clearly was like actually flustered, right? I don't know. I don't know. That's huh. Yeah. Hmm. So, we're going to this ramen place. She is like so horribly disappointed. The way her voice like switches to like this depressed, melancholy tone. Like, come on. Man. She's never like eaten ramen before. Like, this it can't be a new thing to you. Like, come on. But she does enjoy it. So, and that is also like yet another thing that feels like metaphorically interesting, I guess, is her enjoying it, right? Seeing this ramen that like probably doesn't, isn't like her kind of thing, doesn't fit in with her image of the character she's supposed to be playing almost, right? Going to this greasy ramen place and chowing down or whatever. And yet she does. She enjoys it so much, right? Uh yeah, yeah. Hmm. So that scores some points, apparently. But I swear she doesn't when she tallies up the points later, it's the points of going to the ramen place aren't tallied, so that's not fair. Like, come on. Is there something specific about Lix's cafe? Like, what? I don't know. What's weird about that? It's just the cafe. Oh yeah, and this is weird, right? When she, for one, it's very cute, like her hiding behind Hachiman like this. God. But yeah, it's the vice president and the secretary are dating apparently, which I don't know. I don't know. That's interesting. It's a bit simplistic to say they're dating just from seeing them. I don't know. I don't know. I guess the reason why she like freaks out and says this stuff in a second is because that would infer that people would see them together and say they must be dating. Right, right. Of course. God. There's a limit to shamelessness when we're literally on what you called a date. Right, right. I love how he just completely ignores her. Like, man. Next time, let's go someplace where there are less people. Right. And yet she takes this stupid picture with them that it really blows their cover later. Man. I'm really shocked that Hachiman actually did the peace sign with her, you know? God. Man, very cute. Very cute. Nice, nice. It did melt a bit after all. That's how ice cream works, buddy. I don't know. It feels like there's something to that. Him like lamenting his ice cream melting a little bit because he took that picture with Iroha, but I'm not sure what to say about it exactly. I don't know. I don't know. It just is. There's definitely something to that, obviously. So he got 10 points out of 100, which isn't bad. I mean, he actually lost all of his points. It's minus 10 because he wasn't Hayama. Of course, of course. Minus 40 because of his conduct. What did he do? Like, come on. A minus 50 for the part where you easily accepted a girl's invitation. That's just not fair. It's like, come on. You were the one who tried to confess to Hayama, so, like, you can't be knocking off points for that. 0 points. But it's a bonus 10 points because it was fun. Isn't that all that matters? Like, come on. And this, like she asks how it was. We get the shot of her, hiding her face, like hiding her emotions. I don't know. I don't know. So he agrees. He agrees it was fun, but man, I don't know. I don't know. There isn't a girl that isn't annoying. Maybe so. I think there isn't a person that isn't annoying in some sense. Everyone can be annoying, right? Maybe that's an important thing to have self-awareness about. Yeah, yeah. Hmm. Very fun. Very fun. And next time we'll have to do better. And yeah, reference for Hachiman might need a lot of practice with this kind of thing, huh? Girls are made of sugar, spice, and something nice. I think that was from Mother Goose. Though, I get the feeling Ishiki has a bit too much spice in her. Maybe. No matter how much sugar you mix in, habaneros are still habaneros. So it's interesting because it's like what Hachiman is saying here is, she's like a habanero. There's too much spice in her, and he is referring to the sugar as just something you mix in, right? Which is interesting because like what that means, I guess, is that he thinks that the real side of Iroha is like that it's kind of the like self-aware, like somewhat manipulative side of her that she shows him and stuff. Which is that fair? Is that a fair thing to say? I don't know. I don't know. What makes you who you are? It won't be complete without something nice. Surely she has something nice about her already. Come on. So Iroha shows up. She pitches us this little. This is very funny when she immediately like, "Thank you for your time the other day." And like Yui just looking back and forth, man. But yeah, she pitched this idea of a brochure to like show all the stuff around here and everything. I like it. I like it. Feels like something the student council would do, I guess. Right, right. I have things like places to hang out, restaurants with good food, cute cafes. Hmm. And we accidentally scroll to the picture of I'd like it's them like rambling, right? They're just talking over each other and all of this, and then it just cuts out instantly. It's Iroha. Like, what is that face? Why did you do this? Like, God. I guess since she already scrolled to it, it's not like she could just scroll off of it. That'd make it even worse, wouldn't it? Like, come on. God. It's very cute. That's gotta be the thumbnail, right? Like, come on. I love that. Anyway, we'll go out with Yui and Yukino, and we have these very sweet scenes with all of them. It just makes me sad in a way because it just makes me worry that in the future, with everything that happened in the last episode, that we won't be able to keep it like that. That's things are gonna fall apart. It's like I understand what Yui said, her feeling so much when she said that she wanted what they have right now forever and what she wants. And it feels unfair that they can't have that. But if the only way to keep it like that is to, yeah, maintain the status quo by, basically ending up like Ebina and their whole group and all that stuff that happened, then yeah, you can't, right? And maybe you can. Maybe their relationships won't break apart. Um, but you have to be like genuine with each other, right? That yeah, yeah. What kind of company slave am I to go out on my days of leisure 2 weeks in a row? You always have days of leisure. Come on. It's normal conduct in society to arrive 5 minutes early. I agree. The only reason I agree is because if I don't show up early to everywhere, I just am always going to be late. So I just always have to show up early, just no matter what. Which is kind of just like true. Like if you're not early, you are like late in a sense, right? But you know what I mean. So we run around. It's so nice. I love all of this. It's just so cute. Especially Yui and Yukino. Like, man. Hachiman, why are you like so it's it's you should not be feeling that awkward just standing next to this store that sells underwear. Like it can't it's like come on. At most the shop assistant might come close and say something to me. I That would kind of be like the worst. Like that would be horrible, frankly. Like but yeah, here's that moment I was talking about when he keeps taking these steps and she keeps standing right next to him. It just feels huh. It feels meaningful, doesn't it? Kind of goes along, I guess, with what it's in a way, if you want to view it in a negative light, I guess, with the stuff Haruno like accused her of only being able to like follow another person or something. But I think that's kind of a negative way to view it. You don't have to think of it like that. Hmm. And right, I forgot again, right? This whole thing about Yukino's insecurity about that. Yeah, right. God, look at these fucking cats. I love this so much. It's so amazing. I love how much Yukino has changed, huh? She's willing to nia at the cats in front of them. Unlike in season 1 when she had to threaten Hachiman with death or whatever. Hmm. Very cute. And then Yui with a dog, right? Which I don't really know what this like means, right? She wants this dog to be Sable's wife, apparently. Gives it to Hachiman. He's a dog. And then she says, I wonder if it's like this. What is? I literally like don't know what she's referring to. Something between like Yui and Hachiman, something about the whole like dog being Sable's wife. I don't know. I don't know. Or like, is it because it's like a baby dog? Like she's handing Hachiman their baby right now? It's like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what she's referring to exactly. It's something like that, right? Something that makes her blush. I just couldn't tell you. I don't know. We go see a movie. Very nice. I'm sure like Yui gets super like emotional about it. Yukino analyzes it deeply, and Hachiman, this I don't know. He pretends to not care about it. Yukino playing some ping pong. She is good at it. Right, right. It's just so nice. It's so nice. I love it. Just such a nice little thing between them, huh? Ah. Hmm. I'm glad it seems to become a proper reference. And that's interesting. It's like, I wonder how Iroha feels about the club, and all their friendships and everything. We know that she wants something genuine too. That was kind of the whole, after she confessed to Hayama, she was inspired by Hachiman and all of that. Obviously, she keeps coming around to hang with the club and everything, but she's obviously not officially part of it. I don't know. I don't know. I wonder if she feels like this jealousy about it in a way, right? That maybe that's kind of part of her feelings about Hachiman more so than like anything romantic, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. So we take a very nice picture of all of them. Hachiman sitting down in between them, the spot he deserves, I guess. Right, right. But it's a very nice, sweet picture. Man, you can just imagine them all looking back on this in the far future, right? All that it means. It's a good photo, huh? Yeah. Interesting. Indeed, it's not as bad as I thought. I still don't know how to define or describe this club, right? I mean, an impossible thing to do, but if I put it in words, I felt that our feelings were drawn in this photo. Ah, I love that. That's why it's not as bad as I thought. Surely girls are made of sugar, spice, and something nice. What an episode. I like that one. I like that one a lot. And I am out of time. I gotta go. I gotta go. I was on a time crunch, but we did it. I don't think I skimped out too much on that episode or anything. So very nice episode. Next time, we'll start in season 3. So pretty hype, pretty hype. I'm gonna be sad when we finish this show. Every time I finish like the final every time I start, I mean the final season of something, I always feel like this sadness in my heart, knowing that the end is approaching, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it, huh? So, if you enjoy my videos, please subscribe, leave a comment, tell me what you think, and I will see you in the next one.